Okay, we are live. What's up, guys? So I got about 10 minutes, and I want to go through the success orbit and what this looks like and why you need to fuck your ego to be great at what you do. I'm going to give you a short backstory, and then I'm going to explain how the success orbit works, and then I'm going to do some Q&A. So first of all, let me know down below where you're watching from. I want to see where we come from across the entire world to this, to my YouTube channel or to my Facebook group. So actually, I could probably scooch you a little closer here. Let me move you closer. Okay, that should be good. Okay, so we're gonna talk about ego for a sec, guys. So recently, I've been contacted by seven-figure companies, which wasn't always my audience, okay? And the reason why I wanna talk about this is because we always have, I hear this all the time, right? From, first of all, this mug is everything, but I hear this all the time from my agency clients, like, how do I gravitate a better clientele organically? And so the thing with that is you are what you project. So in other words, you're going to pull in and gravitate what you push out into the world. So that's how the success orbit is going to function. So what I've had, and this is really any great salesperson I know or any really salesperson I know, most business owners I know struggle with ego, okay? It's kind of like, well, I'm already having success, so I shouldn't have to go out and talk to this person because the way they do this thing doesn't work. But the thing is, if they do something else that is working, then go talk to them, okay? The same way that you wouldn't go to, if somebody was an amazing MMA fighter, you wouldn't go to them for financial advice if they don't know how to manage money, right? So you want to be selective with how you talk to people about this certain advice, but you can't let your ego get in the way. So I'm gonna give you an example. So last night, I'm just on Instagram, and we're doing more with Instagram now. We pull in like 5 figures a month from Instagram. It's pretty strong. And what happened last night, and this actually happened twice now over the last couple of weeks, another business owner, they're doing 200 grand a month, and they own an agency. So they work with clients, and they help produce leads and other marketing materials to their company. So they're talking to me, and they're crushing it, guys. Like generating a few hundred appointments a month. They're closing at around 60% close rate. Their follow-up game is strong, and like what they're pulling back from follow-ups, which if you guys don't know, that's a huge part of the game because around 50 to 80% of your business will be pulled from the 5th to 11th follow-up. There's different ways to do touch points and messages to send. We're not gonna get into that today. I might do a separate video on that. But anyway, so they're crushing it, right? They're doing like 200 grand a month, roughly. They're projecting like 2.5 on the year as of right now. They have that run rate. But they reached out to me because they wanted to see how we could make their front end a little bit better to make it more qualified. So this way we could possibly charge more on the back end. So even if we lower our close rate, we're still generating more money, right, with less spend. So that's ideally the goal. That's what we're gonna look at. So the reason though, what I credit this to is outside of just us projecting the success we're having with our clients, right? And me doing videos like this to be able to show you guys different ways you could break through mental barriers or different ways that you could break through technique barriers, okay? The reason why I'm talking about this is because for me personally, I started dropping my ego again because there's sometimes, and this is just A players in general, business owners, salespeople, etc., that are like fighting for the top of their game, you get a little prideful at the fact that I'm good at what I do, right? So sometimes you say that to yourself and you're just like, well, I don't need their help because I'm good at what I do, or I don't want their help because I don't like this about them, right? That is that's a cognitive bias that you have, which is okay to have it, but you need to be able to separate the difference between I don't like them and I want to know what they know. Okay? So if you don't like somebody for something, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't want to learn something from them. You're not trying to take all of who they are. You're just looking to learn a certain skill set, right? Now you don't have to not like somebody. Like you can also like them and still want to learn from them. It's just an example so you don't get steered in the wrong direction because of your cognitive bias, okay? So anyway, what happens is when you drop your ego, you start to realize like you open up your mind for more people to come in that are better at something than you to fix something. So I'm gonna give you another example. Football, okay? So these guys will go out, professional football players like Kansas City Chiefs, for instance, right? Just won the Super Bowl. So they'll be out, they'll be playing the game. Andy Reid is still their coach, okay? Patrick Mahomes, just like Tom Brady, is calling a lot of plays because the guy's freaking good. He's doing his own thing on the field. But guess what? Even though he's the best in the league, he's the best in the world, right? In the professional football league, he still takes advice from Andy Reid, his coach, his head coach, okay? Here's something else. The next day, they go rewatch all the footage, okay? So they're still constantly watching footage of themselves to get better. And not only that, but they have other people watching the footage with them, multiple coaches, right? Receiver coaches, defensive coaches, head coaches. Like, they have multiple coaches also watching the same footage to see how we could continue to get better. So I would credit the fact that seven-figure companies started reaching out to me about their sales process, and also, companies that aren't doing seven figures yet, which has always been my audience. But the reason why they're doing that is because I have taken the time to let people critique my stuff. So recently I had another industry leader jump in and actually critique one of my calls. One of my former business partners, actually, Temple Naylor, guy's crushing the game in sales as well. But once I dropped my ego and I was like, you know what? I think I'm missing something here. So I had him come in and critique my call because it's something I stopped doing. I used to always do that. There's a rule in sales, guys, that you need to debrief every win and every loss if you want to hit the next level, because every win has a gap and every loss has more gaps, okay? The majority of the time, we don't lose because of something we don't know. We lose because of things that we do know that haven't been perfected yet, okay? So a lot of people try to get ahead of themselves. Again, this is another football analogy, but a lot of people try to run before they catch the ball. Do you ever see someone in a game where they're like, perfectly hits their hands, but they start running too soon and they drop the ball? That's why. They tried to run before they caught it. So you don't want to run into that in your actual sales process, okay? You want to make sure that you follow each step to continue to get better. And the success orbit then takes place. So ever since I started opening up my mind again to the idea of like, yeah, I'm good at what I do, but I could absolutely be better, okay? I brought in some other people to come in and critique me, okay? Because sometimes when you're in the driver's seat, guys, you cannot see everything happening around you. You see a good enough bit to be successful and to win the race, but you don't see every single thing around you, okay? It is ignorant to think that just because you're a master at your craft that you can't get better. That's when you actually get passed, okay? And we're only limited by the questions that we ask. So guys, if you're getting anything out of this, like the video. Let me know where you're watching from. We've had a few dozen people on. But the success orbit, that's how this works. And if you want to hire clientele, you need to be able to do for yourself what you expect your clients to do with you, okay? So you need to make sure that if I want seven-figure clients, right, which by the way, if you guys are all pitching business owners, the reason why selling consulting is so different than selling coaching is because the majority of people that, depending on which business you're in, whether you're in coaching or a social media marketing agency or any other type of consulting business, because that's what SMMA is. If you're going to be doing that, then you understand like the sale is different, okay? There's a big difference between dealing with somebody that's coming in that's new or only doing a few $100,000 a year or less than somebody that's already doing seven figures, which are the majority of the businesses you talk to in consulting, okay? So you have to understand that there's a different use of emotion and logic in every sales call. There's a different set of questions that you want to ask, okay? There's a more buyer that you're dealing with. So you need to understand the difference in that whenever you're dealing with consulting or coaching. But if you want to be able to have a higher type client, you need to make sure that you are projecting, right, your habits, your attitude, your behavior, your techniques. You need to be able to project what you want back, okay? Like for example, this is a pretty vulnerable video for me, okay? Because I'm over here saying like, yo, I know what my ego's like, okay? I understand that I'm the best in the game at what I do. But at the same time, this video is super important because it made me realize as more seven-figure agency owners reach out to me to critique their already killer sales process, it made me realize that like, it would be a fucking disservice if I did not go out and find a way to make myself better at my craft. It would be a disservice for my clients. The same way it's a disservice for you if you are not reaching out to somebody like me or somebody else that can be able to help you break past a plateau or become a better version of what you already feel like you've mastered, okay? So this is how the success orbit works. You are going to push out and project whatever it is you want, okay? So if you want transparency, you want your customer to be transparent, you push out transparency, all right? If you want to be open, have open communication, kind of like this video, then you push out open communication, you will receive that back, okay? If you want to push out to be able to get people to want to feel like they need to talk to you, that you deserve their conversation, that's a reciprocity bias. You need to push that out and you will receive back what you're giving, okay? Even if that's just time, kind of like this video. So this is how you draw in 7-figure clients, and this may not necessarily be a 7-figure contract you sell them, but this is the type of client you want to be generating and bringing in, okay? So I hope this video was helpful, guys. If you have any questions, drop them below. I'm going to get ready to hop on actually a sales team call right now with my team. So if you have any questions, drop them below. If you're watching this on YouTube, drop them below. I'll come back in. I'll answer them. If you're watching this on Facebook, live in my Facebook group, then heart the video, expand the reach. Same thing on YouTube, like, give me a thumbs up, or expand the reach. If you guys want any more help with anything, I will drop links below or above this video, so this way you can reach out to myself or my team for advice, okay? And we'll have other materials too. But this way we can help you get off the ground and move in the right direction, because fuck your ego, all right? If you want to be great, if you want to be world class, I'm talking best in class, and you want to become an even better version of yourself that you've already mastered, fuck your ego, bro and broettes. That's how you do this, okay? This is the success orbit. I hope this was helpful. I'll catch you guys in the next video.